Hi everyone, Wes Smuts with McGraw. As you know, in June we are celebrating all things kitchen. So today I've got Cameron Maltby here,
How you going?
a multifaceted chef here in Rockhampton, business owner, entrepreneur, up and coming YouTube star.
Yeah.
So we're going to just chat a little bit to him about his experience in kitchens and what he's doing now. And so. Cameron,
How are you, Wes?
good on you.
Very well, mate. Very well.
So what do you remember from kitchens and food growing up that you think grew or led you to your interest in food?
So probably the most important thing I remember at kitchens was in the house we grew up. We grew up in an older style house. We had this dirty old wrung out oven, and I guess that sort of imprinted in my brain. And when I was a kid, I would stay. If I was off sick from school, I was always interested in food, and I remember being sick and being at home and trying to cook what the people were cooking on the daytime cooking shows, and just trying to raid pantries and cabinets and see what I could find and do.
So you think that's where your fascination with creating creative dishes came from?
Yeah, yes and no. Like I think probably the critical moment for me was I was sitting there and I was watching Jamie Oliver and he came on TV and I was like, never seen him before, and it was just a change from Huey's cooking adventures, and it was this young guy. He was rock star personality sort of, and I was like, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want to be. I want to be him. I want to cook cool food. I want to be young, active, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think he definitely changed kind of the image of chefing a lot.
Yeah.
He made it accessible and like the guy next door and like younger. I remember him as well. That was a long time ago, but yeah, he was a
Yeah, it was sort of him, and then you move on from there and you discover the Marco Pierre Whites and the Gordon Ramsays, and of course with that comes the rock star lifestyle, the 18-hour days, the 7-day weeks, and the everything that comes with kitchen life.
And was there a dish that was kind of the first thing that you attempted as a kid or as a young person that you remember, like the thing that started your interest, or?
Well, two different things.
Yeah.
So one thing that started my interest in cooking was I think I can remember just making pancakes was probably the first thing, and just trying to make pancakes from scratch, not with like a shaker bottle. And a funny thing, something I still to this day cannot eat spaghetti bolognese. Like I just remember my mum's spaghetti bolognese growing up, and I just can't do it. And that was probably partially a bit of an inspiration for me.
So I take it the spaghetti bolognese wasn't good.
Oh, look.
Or you're not admitting it now on unrecorded.
Yeah, this is probably going to be on Facebook.
Okay.
And,
so it was interesting.
It was interesting, yeah. Look, I still, like, me and my wife, we have fights whenever she wants to cook spaghetti bolognese, and for me, flashbacks.
It was what the Aussies called it, spag bowl.
Yeah.
Now, how did that lead from that interest into becoming a chef and then now owning cafes here in Rocky? How did that flow happen? Was it immediate, or did you try something else first?
I sort of, all through school, was just like, I'm going to be a chef. I'm going to be a chef. I'm going to be a chef. And I didn't care about anything else and stuff like that. Conveniently, my home ec teacher told me that with my attitude, I'd never be a chef. Miss Robinson, how are you? And look, then from there, I left school. To get an apprenticeship. I got an apprenticeship butchering, and it just really wasn't for me. And then from there, I got an apprenticeship as a chef, and then I've taken a couple of breaks from cooking. I've done a few different things. But cooking has actually sort of led me all over the world. I've cooked in a few different states in Australia, 4 different states of Australia. I've cooked around. I've cooked in a bit in Europe. I worked a bit through Europe, just cooking food, and it's a career path that just allows you to do anything you want.
No, absolutely. And then when you at home, in your home kitchen with the wife or the kids and cooking something, 2 questions.
Yep.
What's your go-to dish if it's a mad day and the kids are driving you crazy and you just want to get something out? and then what in that home kitchen as a chef is important to you?
Okay, so mad day, kids trying to just spaghetti. It's spaghetti bolognese. My wife,
Okay,
she makes the spaghetti,
okay.
but look, I eat it through grit teeth.
Okay.
But yeah, look, I don't do simple, and I if I make something, I make something,
Yeah.
and generally it's a mess, and
Part of
according
the
to
course.
her. But look, at the moment, once a week, me and my son, my oldest son, and even the youngest one's participating. We're making pizzas.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so we're making pizza doughs, and it's
Yeah.
just really cool. Just being able to get the kids involved with
Yes.
cooking, and just sort of, because it's what I do and it's what I'm passionate about, I'm sharing my day-to-day life that they don't see with them,
Yeah.
which is really, really cool for me. And for the oldest boy to actually ask to make pizza and ask to do what I do, that's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's nice to share that passion with,
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
kids. Yeah.
And then obviously what's important to me in a kitchen, gas.
Gas.
Cooking with gas.
Okay, yes.
So if you want to cook with gas. If you want to cook right, do it with gas. And lots of bench space.
Yes.
And
Gas is not always easy to find in Rocky. Plumbed.
yeah,
Pipe.
yeah.
You gotta
So
get your tank up
that's
right.
my So I've just moved houses, and for me, I've got to get that gas conversion done. It's definitely on the list,
Yeah.
and I think that it may be one of the renovations in the future. But if you cook with electricity and then you cook with gas, you can the difference in the heat, you've got a direct instant heat with gas.
Yeah.
It just goes, and then obviously with electricity, it takes time to heat up, and then, adjusting it. Whereas gas, you can adjust initially. And I know they've got the hobs now,
Yeah.
and I've worked in one commercial kitchen with them, and they drive me mental. So they only work with certain types of metals, and
Yes.
you know.
The induction.
Yes,
Yeah,
induction
yeah.
heat,
Yes.
induction hobs, and I just do not like them.
Gotta be
So
gas.
gas is the way to go. Plenty of bench space and a dishwasher.
Okay, perfect. I think those are three very important points.
Yeah.
And Cameron, what are your plans? What's coming up? Firstly, I know that you have started a YouTube channel.
Yep.
We will put the link to it below, underneath somewhere in the comments of this video.
Yep.
What's that about? And do you want to tell us what the journey is with that?
So I've got the 2 cafes in Rocky. I've got the
Oh,
Jolt,
yes, of course. Yes.
Jolt, and I've got Degani in Allenstown. So always come down, get good food, see the guys, they'll take care of you. But the new project was inspired by the coronavirus downturn, and just a bit of free time. I teamed up with another local business lad, Social, and Liam Fahey there, and he approached me with an idea that he wanted to start producing a cooking show, and he thought that I was the guy for it and that I had a unique look, and we went with it. So every week we're dropping content, sort of how to take home cooking to the next level, and just different things that you can do to improve your cooking at home, and to move it towards a restaurant quality meal.
Yes. I think that's something people want to know. So I think we'll put that in the link below, the channel to that. Also a link to Liam and what they do. I think a lot of people watching a lot of food cooking shows at the moment, and always have, but it's a big thing, and people want to know how to bring it home.
I think people haven't been able to eat out at the moment, so people have been stuck with their home cooking for probably the last 8-9 weeks, and they're trying to improve it, trying to make it better. And I think that there's some very simple techniques to take that home cooking to the next level, and things that can be done very simply and easily.
Yes. And I think it's important that we support our local talent. So this is a local YouTube content creator, local businesses, and So thank you very much.
No worries, Wes. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate your time.
It's been awesome.
Yes, and thanks for joining us. And
Thank you.
Chat soon.